Hi guys, it's Marty with Ralayla Creates, and I'm here with the book that I made for Nik the Booksmith's challenge of Deserted Island. And she gave us some parameters to go by, and we had 4 things that were given to us. You had your choice of glue, so I chose Fabrifix. Okay, you had your choice of a cutting instrument, and I chose these smaller scissors, and the reason I chose them is because of how sharp the point is, and it allows me to do fussy cutting. I didn't have an awl, so I used this to make the holes through my spine, and like I said, the fussy cutting on it, so that's why I chose those. And then the thread and needle of your choice to bind your book, and I used this DMC floss and a larger needle. And then you choose whatever paper you like, and I chose this paper here, and it's 24-pound paper, which I had folded, smoothed out, folded, smoothed out, folded, smoothed out 4 times before dyeing it, and then I did iron it after I hung it out to dry. But it gave me this wonderful texture on the papers, and to me, you know, in the spirit of the challenge, I thought maybe this would be appropriate to use in this particular book. But you got as much of the one type of paper that you wanted, and this is what I chose. Okay, and then we were given 4 items that we could choose. Okay, so here's what I chose. I chose a cereal box to make the cover for my journal. I chose a double-sided marker. This has a paintbrush side, and this has a regular nib size here. It's by Prismacolor, and it is dark brown. I chose this because I knew I wanted to draw a map of the island to include in my book, and I figured I could do some faux stitching and maybe some writing with the nib in. That didn't work out to my advantage though. The marker would go straight through to the back side of my paper, so I really wasn't able to use that for that purpose. And I mean, the brush side did well on doing my edges and everything, but I was a little bummed that the nib didn't work as I had planned. But you know, I was on an island, so I couldn't do nothing about it. Okay, the other thing I used was a piece of 12 by 12 material that I cut from this, and I chose it because this looks like pillow ticking, and I thought maybe it would be reminiscent of an old mattress or an old pillow, maybe that found its way to the island with me, and so I used the material to cover my book for that, and I only had a 12 by 12 piece of it. And then for my last item that I chose a piece of paper from Wallflower, the Tim Holtz, and it was this one right here, and it is double-sided paper, and I chose it because I had all these options of insects, and then these options of fauna for you know, exploring the island, what I found, and things of that nature. And then on the back, since it is double-sided, the back is this pattern. Okay, so I used 1 sheet of that, and I will show you what I made. Okay, so this is my journal, and so my back again is out of that material. It looked like pillow ticking, and I used it to cover my sewing of my signatures in wasn't all that pretty, and so I wanted to cover it, so I used most of my fabric, you know, on the cover, and then I covered over the top of the signature thread. It wasn't pretty like I wanted. Also from the piece of fabric along the selvage, it had this white material, so I used that to make a loop here. And if I was going to do it again, I would have just left this long instead of doubling to make a loop there, because this is a little awkward. You know, I have to stick this through there and tie it to the other side to keep my book closed. I mean, it's not a big deal, but that was just one thing that I would have done differently. The piece of paper here is just one of the regular wrinkled sheets, and what I did was create a fringe along the edge. Drew a box like with my marker, and then cut up to the line to make a fringe. And this is cutting out part of that scrapbook paper and one of the bugs, and then some of my binding thread. Okay, so we would open this up, and I wanted it to be like a field journal, so I kept it in this format, like this. So I would, you know, if I was on the island, I'd be like this and writing like this in it. I did a little layered flower up here. It's not the greatest. And then I just wadded up some little pieces of my paper, you know, and colored some of the paper with this marker, and then wadded up and made like the stamen for the center of the flower. And then I made a small little book here that's glued in, and then there's a small little embellishment down here, got a little caterpillar on it. And then this right here is my map of the island, and I just use this as a little piece that the edge here could tuck under to hold it in place. Let's see if I can get my map all in the shot. This is the map I drew of my island. Of course, I have a compass up at the top, and I have a mountainous area up through here. There's deep water on this side, a volcano, an active volcano here in this water, and then these are rapid waters. I got crabs down here, another little small island here. This is the forested area, and my palm trees with the little coconuts down on the ground. And I have my SOS and my arrow pointing to which way I built my home. Then you had like a plains area. This is my water, fresh water running through here. It goes off the cliffs. And these like reeds or bamboo. And my little piggy and my little bear up at the top. And then because of the mountainous area, I didn't know what was over on this side. So, had a lot of fun doing the map. Okay, on the other side, I just have a small little tuck here. And I just put a small little piece there. And here's a small booklet in this belly band. And a little embellishment at the bottom. And when we're getting to here, this is where I've come back and tried to embellish a little more on pages that were empty. So, teeny tiny little strips here. Got this little tag, and you can write on the opposite side, and it slides in here. And what I used for this was a tab from a cereal box. Let's see if I can find, you know, the flap. So I just cut it down a little bit, and because it's stiffer, I used that there. There's an empty page, and some of the bugs, and again, There's a little Franken piece kind of tag there. And again, this little, I pieced together this floral and put the little knots in here. It's just balled up little pieces of paper that I colored with the Prismacolor marker. And there's one there that's not quite as dark, or he's plain colored, and that one's not quite as dark, just to give it a little bit of variation. Okay, then this one is glued down. I made a little envelope that, well, piece of paper that's folded like an envelope that you can write on, extra journaling space. This is a little tuck spot. Fussy cut this flower out here and pasted it down, and then another little bug type picture from the paper. This is a little tuck, and it's got a little booklet. I just glued those together. The papers were just glued together. To keep it together. My needle was so big I really didn't want to do a lot of sewing on the paper. And this right here has a little tuck spot, and then I did some faux stitching, and you can write on both sides. And then just some of the what looks like pillow ticking there. And just another little piece of paper that's folded. And all my edges were done with my marker. This one is glued down here. And then just this is a little tuck spot, and that's just for embellishment. And this has a little tuck space here to hold that in place. And this is one of the little pods that was on the scrapbook paper, and I just tore out a circle and used the marker to go around the edge and glued it down. And then this is a little piece here that you could, it could hold something in there. Okay, and then this little belly band holds this little piece of paper. And what's really neat is the paper is so soft, you know, because it's been wadded up so many times and then straightened out. This one has just a single little page to write on. And see, this is where my marker bled through. So I was kind of disappointed that it bled through like that. I should have expected it, I guess, but I didn't. But I contemplated a long time between the Distress Oxide and my marker, and I went with the marker because I thought I'd be able to write and draw, have hand-drawn things in the journal. I had a lot of fun doing this. It was quite challenging, I have to say. I used the marker for a bone folder, or I used the edge of my scissors to make my creases better. Little belly band, and this one is folded a little different. I've seen someone else fold this, and I don't know who it was, and I don't know the first person who folded that way. I don't want to claim this as my own, but neither do I want to give credit to the wrong person. I do not remember who I saw do that. These had just some small little embellishments, just to, you know, kind of a wink and nod that not completely empty. I did do a little stitch on my fabric. And this one has they flip out and a little holder to keep it in place. And this right here is just an odd piece of the scrapbook paper. And this is paper that I had cut something. I tried to make a flower and it didn't work. So I used this and just colored it and put it down in the book just to add some more color to it. This right here is a little bit of weaving. It goes over and under and everything. You can see my marker is beginning to run out. I hope there was some that float ashore, some more markers and some more glue for that matter. This is just like a Franken collage piece. Another little tuck with some faux stitching on it. And a little fold out piece of paper. And again, it has the holder for it. And just made a little banner with the material. And some more insects. And it's just a little bit of paper piecing, a little bit of my writing on there. I had made a list, but like I said, it bled through, you know, what's the most important things. What's your plan of action? It's, of course, fresh water, shelter, food, fire, you know, things that you need if you were stranded. And this is just a little collage piece here. And this one is glued down. And another little collage piece at the bottom. This is a belly band, and you can write on the other side of the tag. Another little collage piece. You hear the whining, it's my puppy. He's ready to go to bed. So this is some of that material, and then a little cutout over top of it. Here's a small little flip that's glued into the book. And this is a little bit of a collage piece and another little collage piece, and I thought try to bounce that out just a little bit. I put this kind of wonky, a little bit, you know, it's not in the corner, it's not in the center. There's another little piece that you can write in. Just a small little piece. And at the back I have a small little envelope. And it's got a little tuck piece to help hold it in place. And then this was part of the scrapbook paper, and I did just, on the inside, I did just use some of my crinkled paper, tea stained, well, coffee stained paper to use on the inside instead of the material, since I had so little of it. But yeah, that is my journal for this challenge. I appreciate the push in this direction, Nick. I never would have done anything like this. I can't tell you how many times I went to reach for my bone folder or my big pair of scissors or something like that, and you know, catch myself doing that, like, nope, can't do that. But I had fun doing it, and I appreciate the challenge of it. I was going to show you what I had left. So this was DMC floss, and that's all I had left of it. And then from my cereal box, I had all these pieces left. And I'd use this to line up my spine. Made the holes with my scissors and, you know, did through my spine to do that. So I had that left because I didn't want to use too much of the box, in keeping with the spirit of the challenge. And then this paper here is what's left over from me pulling the paper, tearing the papers apart, and like that. And then, oh, here's some more of the Cheerios box. And then from my 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper, this is all that I have left here. Just very small trimming. You can see how I got smaller and smaller as I went back and tried. I would decorate 2 pages, skip 2 pages. Decorate 2 pages, skip 2 pages. It was how I was going through the journal. And so when I got to the end, I come back and thought, okay, what can I do here? You know, pull out little bitty pieces just to put something on there. Very few just blank pages do I have in the journal. But anyway, if you haven't tried the journal or seen the video, check out Nik the Booksmith challenge. Be nice to see what you do. But anyway, quite like it. Thanks guys for watching. Have a good night. Goodbye.